What a joy it is to be here with Jennifer Russell. My name is Angela Montano, and I am founder and leader of a movement called Rethink Prayer. I'm very interested in the practice of prayer as a spiritual practice in religions. And in fact, prayer has been around for centuries before the first religion was formed. I'm always quick to say, though, I'm not against anyone's religion or practice, from the context of religion. I just know, just as people practice yoga and meditation to deepen their consciousness and their sense of well-being, prayer is just as profound a practice. And there's all these different modalities and techniques for praying that many of us just don't know about or haven't learned. And part of my mission with Rethink Prayer is to bring these to all of us to experiment with. Because I sometimes think of the analogy of aromatherapy. You wouldn't use lavender for everything, or you wouldn't use peppermint for everything. You have different scents that serve in different ways related to health. And it's the same with prayer. As we learn more different modalities and different kinds of prayer, we have a little prayer toolbox, and we might be guided, given whatever's going on. We're leaning towards one versus another. So sometimes I think when people think, well, prayer doesn't work, they just don't have a full toolbox to utilize. Mm-hmm. And I'm thrilled to be here with Jennifer Russell today to share our conversation with you about a prayer practice called Ho'oponopono. And just before we began recording this call, Jennifer taught me how to say it correctly. I had learned Ho'oponopono, and she has informed me it's Ho'oponopono. Ho'oponopono. So don't let the difficulty in pronouncing something take you away from the practice. And this is actually an ancient Hawaiian prayer practice. And we're going to be doing a 6-minute process with this prayer, utilizing an absolutely gorgeous chant that Jennifer has recorded of this. And we'll get to that a bit later. But I first want to tell you who this lovely, lovely, lovely lady is who is sitting with me. This is Jennifer Ruth Russell. And her life vision is to uplift, empower, and transform the world with songs that open the heart. And that is a universal experience that I think we've all had, a song that opens our heart. And Jennifer takes this to a whole other level. And it's extraordinary. She has written, recorded, and performed 7 albums of powerful, uplifting music. And this is including her most recent release, There's Only Light and Lie Down in That Grass. Jennifer's CDs are the only music I have in my car that I listen to. So I feel very connected to her. And it's extraordinary I think of my car now as almost like a prayer meditation capsule. I'm paying attention getting from one place to the other, but I'm allowing my soul to be nourished while driving. And her music is extraordinary. In addition to that, Jennifer has written and recorded 75 children's award-winning songs for the virtues. And if all that is not enough, she's clearly a Renaissance woman. She is a licensed spiritual practitioner trained under Michael Bernard Beckwith. Both she and I are trained and have that same license. We didn't graduate at the exact same time, but we are connected in deep way through that. Mm-hmm. And she is the founder of the Soul Ascension Masters Program. And this is a mystery school for light workers who are ready to become their own channel and oracle to others. So this is deep, profound, and incredibly relevant mystical work. Mm-hmm. So I applaud you, Jennifer, for all that you do.
Thank you.
And for the work you do on the planet. And I feel so grateful to have benefited from your work, both in your song. I first met Jennifer through Agape, as she has been a musician there many, many times and is often on stage. And then I was guided to sign up for something you did with a cleanse, a spring cleanse. And I love how you began that with visioning. And I had a profound experience through that. Really learning at that time it wasn't a particular food I needed to cleanse, but my thoughts about food. And I loved how everyone in the group really had a custom-made, tailor-made program for themselves. So thank you for guiding me through that. Thank you.
My joy.
So even though I know you and we've worked together in various ways, I have never asked you this question, and I want to know, what is prayer to you, and how did you come to prayer?
Oh, what a great question. And before I answer that, I just want to thank you for talking and sharing this conversation with me today. I honor you. I love you. I am so grateful for your work in the world, and that you've taken prayer to a whole new exposure in this day. I think is so powerful and very, very important.
Thank you.
Yeah. Wow. I was taught prayer as a child. I was actually born and raised as a missionary child in Ethiopia, East Africa. My parents and my grandparents were Presbyterian missionaries, and prayer was a daily activity. In fact, even my spiritual practice as a young girl, I was instructed to, read some of the Bible every day and pray. So I've been praying since I was very young. But when I stepped into metaphysics, and especially agape and the whole science of mind and metaphysical aspects of the affirmative prayer went to a whole nother level for me. In fact, before that, I have to tell you, I was not able to walk into any kind of a church or sanctuary or tabernacle or temple for 20 years. I was having such a freedom journey reaction to my upbringing.
Interesting.
And so I think there were 20 years that I did not pray. It was just void of prayer. And then when I started learning to pray affirmatively, wow. It was a whole new experience for me, and it continues to be. When I sit with someone in prayer, it feels almost that the prayer comes through them, through me. I mean, of course, I'm speaking the word, but the prayer comes from what they are calling for, and it's always fascinating. I feel almost like just a conduit of the prayer.
Beautiful. And, for those who are unfamiliar with the term affirmative prayer is for years it was considered a 5-step treatment. And then some centers for spiritual living, agape, and other new thought churches added a 6-step in the beginning. But the main thing about affirmative prayer is you're affirming your oneness and your union with, and again, I'll say whatever you call it, God, source energy, the universe. You recognize that this presence is where you are, and then is where and is at the center and the circumference of whatever issue you're praying with. So it is a radically different kind of praying, because it's not begging, beseeching, thinking of a higher power outside of you, trying to get attention from that being. You're praying from a sense of oneness, and you're working to connect even more deeper within your being, relating to your oneness and union with God, out of which all things are possible. So that must have been quite a shift for you.
Yes, a big shift. Big shift.
And how do you use prayer in your life today?
Oh, well, I've heard many people say this, but it is a continual motion throughout the day. And now I also I use it in song a lot. Almost all my songs are prayers, or they're part of my spiritual growth that I want to embody, which is, I want it to be in my body. I want to experience it. So sometimes I'll write a song prayer so that then it will be mine. I will own it. But now I work I do sessions. I'm a spiritual mentor now. And I also am really working in the company of heaven with the angelic realm and the ascended masters. And prayer has become very forceful now, very powerful, because to me, our gift of the word, we speak the word and it becomes flesh. We speak the word and it absolutely have that co-creative power. And so it has become a really powerful momentum. I have to say that word because that's what it feels like to me. It's just like prayer kind of works on itself. It really feels like it gets going, and it continues that way every day. It continues and continues. It's a channel of light. It really is. It's a channel of light.
And maybe would that be your definition for prayer? Prayer is a channel of light.
Absolutely, and it's a declaration.
Mm-hmm. Beautiful.
Yeah.
And from affirmative prayer, how did you come to Ho'oponopono? Because in some ways, affirmative prayer, we could say is, almost exclusively upbeat. God is, I am, God is where this situation or circumstances is I'm praying about. That's the light, the love, the prosperity, the abundance, the everything. And I trust this, I release it, I am thankful, it's already done in God. Amen. It's very, very positive.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to say, I've got it right. Ho'oponopono. You're the four lines of that prayer. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. Would you explain what Ho'oponopono is and how you relate to it and how this recording came about?
I would love to. I remember somebody, in passing at Agape one day said, "Oh, you got to hear this new prayer. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you." And how often we're looking for the magic fix and, just give me something, and I heard it and I thought, this is interesting. And I said it a few times and it felt great. But then I took a course with one of our mutual friends, Jennifer Hadley, and she actually featured this one week. And once again, I was like, wow, well, I want to embody this more. I'm going to write a song. I'm going to write a song. And I was in a community there and I was helping with some music and I thought this would be easy and fun for us to do together. Now that was ages ago, but I have to tell you the journey of this prayer song, how it be, there I am wanting to know more about this. So I write a song just like I told you. And I'm writing it. My husband, who produces everything that I do, he's a great engineer and guitar player. He's playing guitar on the background of this. He says, "Oh, Jennifer, nobody's going to get that. I mean, especially guys. I forget it. I mean, you're saying I'm sorry in a song? Forget it." He's a songwriter too, so he's always a good mirror for me. And I actually put the song aside after that course. I didn't do anything with it for, I would say, 5 years. And I was doing a house concert, and it happened to be in the same house where we met with this community years later. And I was celebrating a new album, my album Worthy. And so the whole concert was about this new album and unfolding it and bringing it out into the world. And we had a wonderful time. The whole concert's done, saying goodnight. And somebody in the back goes, "What about that I love you, I'm sorry prayer?" And she just remembered it from way long ago when we sang it maybe a few times. And so I pulled it out and we sang it as an encore, but it became, still tears me up. It became such a moment in time for all of us there of deep opening of the heart, of deep forgiveness, especially for self. Forgiveness, it always is about us. And as the wonderful Dr. Hugh Len, who brought this interpretation of this prayer over to the mainland, he used this in a psychiatric ward. He used this simple prayer to speak over people's files. He never saw these criminally insane patients. He just spoke this prayer over them. And they started to get better. And when he was asked about it, he said, "Well, I was just working within myself on the part of me that represented them." To me, that is the fullness of all prayer. You know, it's like I was just taking responsibility for whatever they represented in me, because if it's in my life, I'm going to pray for it, you know. So I love that story. So I dug it out after that night, and my sister-in-law, who is my background singer, she says, Jennifer, you got to record this song. You got to get this song out there, because she saw what happened that night. And basically that was a seed to do the recording. And since then, it's had a life of its own. It has really had a life of its own. It's been a wonderful tool. People are using it for forgiveness classes. I know some of my clients have used it to heal their body. Someone else she had mastectomy, and for her to look in the mirror again, she had to put this song on for quite a while before she could step in front of a mirror and embrace herself again. It's a powerful, powerful tool.
Yes. Will you please tell us more about the 4 lines and your understanding and interpretation of them and how you work with those?
That's such a great question. You know, to me, this works always, or maybe we could say holographically. Because even if you're not thinking of a certain situation or something, this prayer works always. So I think of it going in all directions. I love you. I love you is an ancient lullaby we all open up to in our heart. We all know this song. I love you. That's where we all started together. That's immediately that recognition and unification. It's all right there. I love you. I'm sorry. You know, I'm sorry. It's like, I'm sorry. To me, that's just it's humility.
Yes.
You know, please forgive me. Please forgive me. Like, let's start over. Let's let it go. And then thank you to me it is done. It's complete now. Thanks. It's done. Now we can play again. But to me, this song, I love doing this process with congregations. We'll take this into a center, and we'll do this as part of the service, is everybody will pair up and actually become a surrogate for anyone that you're holding that, you know, you need to forgive. And then we sing it again, and they're representing anybody that needs to forgive you. And then we sing it to the earth. We sing it to all the structures of the earth. So to me, even though you might think you're focusing on something, this prayer has a way of just cleaning it up. All of the things that are stuck in our hearts, in our minds, in our psyche, in, you know, all parts of us.
Yeah. Beautiful, beautiful. I know when I think of the I'm sorry part of this prayer, when I do it, it is part of I probably do this prayer clearly every week, several times. I don't know if I do it every day, but I mean, it's a go-to prayer for me. It's one of my, again, if it's the essential oils, it's one of my go-to daily living prayers. And when I'm saying I'm sorry, I feel deeply sorry. Like, I'm saying it to reality. Like, I know all is well. I know everything's divinely orchestrated on one level. But for whatever reason, I'm captivated by the perception that it's not. And I'll feel this deep, like, I am truly sorry. I'm truly sorry I don't see, you know, right now with my holy eyes. I'm sorry I don't hear with my holy ears. I'm sorry I'm not speaking, you know, with my holy voice right now. And it when you said cleaning, that's what it feels like it does to me. It just, whatever that debris is, however I need my perceptions healed.
Yes.
And I honestly, for me, I don't know that I could get there without saying I'm sorry. That confession is very opening to me.
Absolutely.
You know, I'm confessing when I'm saying I'm sorry. It's like, you know, the glory is, it's lost on me right now, you know? And through that prayer, I can come back home to my, and it's humility is that opening to the love that is.
Yes, I love that you said that, because to me, and that's a beautiful way of explaining what this prayer does, because it really meets you wherever you are. You
It
know,
does.
whatever you think in this moment, or maybe you don't even know. I have a friend that leaves it on in her home when she's gone, just to keep the energy, clear and clean and beautiful.
Beautiful. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's powerful. So we're going to play the recording, and it is 6 minutes in length. So this is a real opportunity to have a movement of energy, the movement of prayer wash over you. And one of the things I often say about prayer that I love is, while I can't do meditation or yoga for you, I can pray for you. And Jennifer's doing that for us through the
Mm.
song. And we can really allow ourselves to be brought into this vibration through her willingness to do this chant prayer for us. So, Jennifer, how would
Beautiful.
you suggest people prepare themselves for the 6 minutes? Like, should they sit down, lie down, or should they bring something to mind that's been upsetting to them? Or like, how do you think would be best?
What I would suggest is that you start with your hands on your heart,
Mm.
and you sit or lie down, it doesn't matter, but you definitely give yourself the wonderful treat of not doing anything else for 6 minutes. Start with your hand on your heart, and I would start with yourself. Start with yourself, and then you're going to know where to go from there. And just allow your mind to go to whatever, and if you can, sing. Because singing allows your whole body to come together. It brings the left and the right brain together, which allows it to open to new ideas. So I just really suggest to sing, and it doesn't matter if there's only one note in your song. Make a joyful noise. It's so powerful for your body and every part of your being.
Beautiful. Okay, thank you so much. That sounds like wonderful instructions. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to play the recording, and it may take a moment of pause before you hear it coming on, but just relax. And then afterwards, Jennifer, I will come back to you. Both of us need to be silent while the recording is playing. I'm doing my best on the technological end here, but
You're doing great.
I might be able to mute us, but if we don't, just we'll have our own experience as well.
I love you, I love you, I love you, I'm sorry. I love you, please forgive me. I love you, I love you, I love you, I'm sorry. I love you, please forgive me. I thank you. I love you. I thank you. I love you. I love you, I love you, I love you, I'm sorry. I love you, please forgive me. I love you, I love you, I love you, I'm sorry. I love you, please forgive me. I love you, I love you, I love you, I'm sorry. love you, I'm sorry. I love you, please forgive me. I love you, I love you, I'm sorry. I love you, please forgive me. I love you, I'm sorry. I love you, please forgive me. I love you, I'm sorry. I love you, please forgive me. I love you, I'm sorry. I love you, please forgive me. I love you, I'm sorry. I love you, please forgive me. I love you, I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I love you, I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I love
That is so beautiful, Jennifer. So beautiful.
Thank you. I composed it right here on my piano.
It's so beautiful.
So simple. It's just a simple lullaby.
Yeah. It every time I hear it and I do this prayer, it's like I don't know how to put it into words exactly, but it feels like the universe is saying to me, "You're enough."
Yeah, it's okay. Yeah,
It's beautiful.
yeah, so beautiful.
So for people who would like to, work with this recording, perhaps work with you, tell us about your work now and the Ascension School, and also how people can, have the recording for themselves to
I would love
experience
to.
it.
I would love to. This recording I want to give to you as a gift. And all you need to do in order to receive that is go to my website. So I'm going to give that to you now. It's jenniferruthrussell.com and then / prayer chant. So that's jenniferruthrussell.com / prayer chant. Just those 2 words written out. Nothing fancy. That's as simple as it is. And I want to give you this MP3, just what we just heard. I want to give that to you. And that will also just allow you to become part of my my community, where you'll see what I'm up to. I am so on fire with the company of heaven and helping people just really step up to a whole new place of communing with the heavenly realms. And that's what we do in the Soul Ascension Masters Program. It's a year program, and I would love to talk to you about that. And anybody can just send me an email, and I will send you lots of information on that. I think there's not enough time for us to get too deeply into that, but it's really profound work of starting to really deeply become. I don't want to say become, I want to say remember. Remember that you are an open channel. We used to walk with the angels daily. And now we're remembering how to do that. Remembering how to do that, and how we are, I really believe we are all ascending, and so is the earth. And I am fascinated with this journey. And so I love teaching about it and learning about it. And so that's what that's about.
Well, I just, what's the words? I thank you again for what you're doing, and just appreciate who you are as a teacher and appreciate who you are in really following the inner call, following the inner instructions to bring this forward to the world.
Thank you.
So, and again, so I just want to repeat that. That's JenniferRuthRussell.com/prayer chant.
That's right.
To have your own recording. And when you have that, you can utilize it as part of your prayer practice.
Absolutely.
And see how that supports you in the awareness that you are supported and that you and I, none of us ever walk alone. So much of what prayer does, I believe, in so many different ways, is it pierces that sense of isolation. You know, we can have a whole family around us or friends, we can have money, we can have everything we think this world you need to be safe and secure, and yet not feel that safety and security. And we're really to know we're supported, as Jennifer is saying. And so we pierce that, what I would call a false sense of isolation, to walk in a deeper awareness of connection, oneness, and completeness.
Yes.
So
Beautifully said.
Thank you. Anything more you want to share before we close? And we're going to close in another prayer.
I just want to say, I want to encourage everyone to have a forgiveness practice, because there's no way, no matter how pristine your life is, that you can walk through this life without needing some cleansing, just because just being here is that we are in a really thick third dimension. And that's one thing. I would just encourage you to use this song as a forgiveness practice. I have one every day, and you say you use it like 3 or 4 times a week. It's very important. I believe it's really one, you know, we've been given this wonderful gift of forgiveness, and it frees us. It frees up our hearts to love. You know, it frees up our finances. It frees up everything. And so I guess that's all I wanted to say. And I just want to thank you so much, Angela, for your work in the world and your powerful, elegant presence of prayer.
Oh, thank you.
So beautiful. Thank you.
Okay, so we'll close out in prayer, and just what a pleasure it has been to be with Jennifer Ruth Russell today and to really be exposed to her prayer medicine through this chant. And I'm so grateful to have participated in today, and to just encourage everybody to experiment with this. I think experiment is a good word. Just see what happens when you begin it, and you just let it wash over you. And again, see where it goes and where it takes you. So there's no way you can do it wrong. So with that said, I thank you also for joining Jennifer and I for this conversation. And it's conversations like this that I hope to spread to the world, and that wouldn't be possible without you listening. And I thank you for your prayer practice at whatever stage of the game you're in reconsidering prayer, rethinking prayer, and seeing how you can experience the support that is there for you through prayer. So with all that said, let us just take a moment, and I'm going to begin a prayer. How deeply grateful I am to have had this conversation with Jennifer, to open my heart, for her to open hers, for whomever is listening, for you to open your heart more fully to this deep and complete sense of forgiveness, of love, of gratitude, of release and clearing. I give thanks for Ho'oponopono. I give thanks for it being brought to us through Dr. Hugh Lin. I give thanks for this and so much more. And so blessings upon everyone, blessings upon everything, blessings everywhere. So be it, and so it is. Amen. 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 Thank you.